Racesport is displayed. Light out and blast off. Good launch there from Eaton. Good launch from Carlson as well as they head down towards the first corner. Those two running side by side, and Carlson breaking later than Eaton and getting the initial advantage and getting the lead. Brilliant stuff there. Panhauser on the outside and now squeezing Stefan into turn two. Side by side they go, and Stefan over the inside there of Panhauser's car. So big old drama early doors there, and you can see the bodywork damage on the Pantera RX6. So that is not the way those two will have wanted to have started their race here this weekend.
No, a little bit of a messier start compared to what we've seen so far in Q1, but of course everybody's still going around the track. That's the main thing. But yeah, that bodywork damage to Panhauser's car is not going to be ideal for him. Hopefully it won't affect his visibility. Of course, his car's a left-hand drive, and it's the right-hand side of the bonnet that is sticking up in the air, so it shouldn't affect him too much in this circumstance. But it's going to still be a bit of a distraction for him, seeing that bonnet flapping around on the car.
Yeah, you can see that there quite visibly, the bodywork damage. You can see Andreas Stefan coming under pressure from Ronnie Searock in P4. There is Ramona Carlson leading the way against Abby Eaton, and still bodywork damage in the initial stages there for Eaton. So she must have had a bit of contact by the looks of things with Ramona Carlson, but piling the pressure onto Carlson now is Abby Eaton. This is brilliant. Two drivers making their debut here at Nirad in Hungary, not in TitansRX especially. Abby, of course, has competed before. Carlson is making her debut in Titans, but both here at the Nirad circuit, they have not raced in this machinery, and this is absolutely brilliant to see them leading the way here so far. Carlson, of course, in the ex-Andrew Jordan machine, and coming down towards this back section of the lap, you can see Carlson getting that car rotated nice and early there. Eaton, this is probably where she's going to struggle a little bit, and she ran it a bit wide through there, loses time to Carlson.
Yeah, you can see her drop back a little bit in this section as the battle.
Oh, Ronnie's wide, he's into the wall. Ronnie Searock into the wall there. Suspension damage surely on his Pantera, or was he able to just keep it out of harm's way? But there was definitely some contact there, very sideways as well for Abby Eaton in P2, and that allows Andreas Stefan to close up in P3 as Werner Panhauser has now lost out to his fellow German driver there. So very exciting stuff. Early doors going on here in Q1 Race 3. Well, it's all action and plenty, and you can see there Ronnie Searock has slowed down quite significantly, so you would imagine there has been some damage on his Pantera following that contact with the tyre wall.
Panhauser there running a little bit wide there and dropping off the back of Stefan, so Stefan's not got that pressure on him now, but he can be focusing on Abby Eaton out in front as he's closed the gap from Abby making a few mistakes, so he's going to be looking to try and make up a place now in front of Abby. Of course, you get more of a points gap for position points rather than time points, so he's going to definitely be gunning for second place over third.
Well, very exciting stuff indeed. You can see the Ramona Carlson 2:33, so not necessarily as quick as we've seen from the likes of the Hansen brothers and Tommy Haken in the lead of this race, but still a very impressive start to her Titans RX career. Eaton, if she hadn't had that sideways moment and run wide a couple of times, she might have been in contention. Bit of a running wide there, I think, for Werner Panhauser and Ronnie Searock. Maybe that is because of the damage that he is struggling with on track at the moment, but you can see there Carlson still leading the way on the penultimate lap here in Hungary, with Eaton not too far away despite the mistakes that she's made. She's keeping that gap pretty much to the constant, and if anything, it's coming down a tad.
Yeah, it looks to me like she's bringing that gap down, so Abby on a big push here. Of course, it's not a sort of circuit you'd expect her to be able to excel on because of how unique it is to Rallycross, but of course she's adapting to it really well, and the gap down to 1.4, it was up at sort of 2.5 I think roughly, so Abby's taken a big chunk out of Ramona there on this lap. Can she bring it down enough in these closing stages of the last lap to try and overhaul Carlson before they cross the line?
Well, hugely impressive stuff from both of these drivers here, of course. Their first time at the Nirad Motorsport Centre in Hungary in Titans RX machinery, and doing a brilliant job to outclass the likes of Andreas Stefan and, for example, Ronnie Searock, who have both competed in Titans RX in 2019 as well. Hugely impressive stuff as they come through into the final section on the last lap here. You can see Eaton has really closed that gap down. I reckon if the race had gone on for a couple of laps longer, she would have been all over the back of Carlson and trying to make a bit of a move, but as it stands, into the final series of corners we go, and Ramona Carlson in her first ever Titans RX race comes across the line and takes victory in Q1 Race 3 here in Nirad, Hungary. Abby Eaton in P2. Andreas Stefan finishes across the line in third position. Werner Panhauser with the bodywork damage, that drama that he had at the start, in fourth position. And Ronnie Searock, of course, with the suspension damage he had in P5.